Okay, so I'm going to have to piece this together because truthfully the cat's unplugged the computer. So, where are the interruptions that like you were not expecting, right? Because it's going to happen. And through that process of those interruptions, of the in-between time, in the variance of possibilities, you need to stick to your faith, right? Understand like when it's time to take action and when it's time to sit back and watch, and always looking from the bigger picture. Like, you may be in a place, in a position where you ideally don't see yourself forever. But how do you look in the environment and then say, how do I raise up to choose a higher timeline, to choose a higher state of being for myself, right? Because it's not about the other person, it's about you with you. And so, like, where are you still having run-ins with the ego where you're not in the highest vibration of self, right? And like, what's impeding your vision of your own evolution? Like, where do you need its renewal in between worlds? The key is celebration, right? And then like your overall is look for the signs, helpful people within the next few months, right? And so okay. Thank you. So here's the thing, right? Is our ego is a son of a biscuit. And it's going to tell you not to trust people. It's going to tell you, look at all their shadows. Like, any good attacker, any good predatory animal is going to identify and is going to see what is it that my opponent is operating in, right? Because the first thing of, you know, you're in fight or flight, you're zigging and zagging. They watch their prey. They understand where they're going to be before they even go, right? And what I'm getting is that you utilize it for your defense mechanism. And the question is how do you rise above no said behaviors? Can you stop, please? He's playing with the curtain rod thingy. With the said behaviors, right? How do you find pleasure in the simple things of life, right? He's legit playing with like a cord from the blinds. And he has 50 billion toys, right? I'm talking about my cat. 50 billion toys all over the house. And instead he chooses to play with the blinds to keep himself entertained, right? And so how can you take that approach when you're meeting new people? When you're meeting happy, kind individuals that are operating out of their heart center, how do you get into a place of non-judgment where you then are rising up to your highest vibration and highest timeline, right? Where you're tapping into that mastery energy. Whatever's happening in that jaw area, right side, or mirrored, yeah. Let's go ahead and release that energy. I see you can come up through the crown. Proper waist station, please. Take a deep breath and allow that energy to release, right? And then tapping into your perceived highest timeline through meditation and allowing visions to come into being. You know, and they're also, for some reason, and I don't know why they're saying this. Maybe this is something that you've gone through over the last month, right? you could have come across somebody who believed themselves to be on a higher timeline, right? Everybody wants to be special in a lifetime. And I'm not here to take that away from them, right? But not everybody is a 33. And they don't realize the potency of the energy of a 33, right? And so a lot of people will have a misconception believing that they are speaking to their higher self, when in fact it is a softer version of the ego. The ego adapts. And if somebody is not meditating or identifying the separation between internal dialogue, entity attachments, souls, and different soul fragments of their own ego, right? Because you have to go through different variations before you get to paradiso, right? Until you get to paradise. And it's a struggle, because in the end, when it comes to another person, it's not your job to wake up the sheep, right? It's not your job to say, hey, let me save you time, let me save you energy, let me open up this pathway to you. It's not light, it's not fluffy, and frankly, if you're not going through the trenches, you're not doing it right. It's not our job to say those things. It's our job to allow and hold space for the greater collective to work through the things that they need to work through. Your job is to plant the seed and walk away, and allowing them to go through their karma, right? Their dharma, their balancing of their own scale, right? Your job is just to say what you see, but to allow them to come into their own fruition, right? In the end, one must make their own decisions in their own evolutionary scale, right? If understanding it's all about you being in tranquility in the process. Like, you have to find your own peace and allowing the karmic justice to be served, and sometimes that involves you walking away from a situation and just leaving it be, right? And not wishing anything, but understanding that, have faith that God is going to be balancing the scales. Your job is to be a magical creator in the process, for you to pull your own timeline and kind of interesting. They just said, watch it hit the fan. Take shelter because it's going to hit the fan. That's hilarious. So how do you empower yourself? Connecting with your own guides, being a divine builder, a divine alchemist, a foundational worker, right? That's your language of love. Like, they keep saying, like, chase the things that you desire, right? Stop allowing what other people, reformulate that, please. Higher elevation. Open up the heart chakra. Yeah, there's something in regards to the empowerment of how you, as you move forward in this next phase, like how you choose a higher timeline, right? Like through energy healing of self, right? Not everybody is meant to be an energy worker, right? Not everybody is meant to run energy to help clear other individuals. And and so, like, the thing is like, as you're, I don't know, you may have like 3 components of self that you're trying to work with, right? Energy healing, body work, and helping the planet, right? Through a vibration of compassion. It's empowering, it's unlocking a certain insight for you. So you need to start asking clear questions. It's your next step in evolution, right? And instead of they're telling me look for the signs in places where they're not normally, right? Like it's something connected to like the old identity that you used to live by. It's the answers to the peeling of the next portion of the onion, the next layer. And what that's going to do is it is going to open up a path for you to get back into your heart center so you can start trusting people again. And so look for helpful people, look for the kindness in people, right? Don't look at the exterior circumstances of where they're at, look at the possibilities that they are. Because remember, like, even if it ends up being a shit show, even if you end up not trusting something that doesn't necessarily pan out, instead take a perspective, an outlook, a commitment, right, to self and say, how can I grow? How can I help this person grow? And did I do what I was supposed to do, right? Do I feel good about the interaction? And then allow it to be what it is. And that's going to start shifting cycles and patterns. And so what's going on with grieving? Remember, when you pick up your tarot deck, whenever grieving about life purpose, letting go, walking away in order to resolve. What did you walk away from? Okay, yeah. I'm going to pull one more card and then I'm going to close this out. So whatever, honestly, like, it's a hard thing when you have to let go of your old life, or you have to let go of the people you love, or they just don't resonate with you anymore, right? They're on a lower timeline, even though in their eyes, because they're connected to the 3D, they believe they are on a higher timeline. You have to allow and love the soul's journey right where it's at, right? It's not our job to pray that they pick a higher contract. Like, you have to allow that soul's journey to do its own journey of however that looks for them. And it's a really hard place to be at, right? So detach from the situation, allow yourself grounding. If you can get in the water, and start like manifesting your future desires of what it is that you want. And I'm going to leave that there. If this resonated with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to you later. Ciao.